After a lovely couple of days with Chris and Michelle, it's time to move on. We've got a lot to see in Victoria before we get to Geelong. Today we're heading for Lake Bolac, and there's always something to see along the way. This stone fireplace is a memorial to the Burke and Wills expedition. They camped near here in 1860 on the banks of the Campaspe River. This silo art at Colbinaban is a real eye-catcher. Have you ever looked on Google Maps for points of interest? It's amazing what you can find. This jail is considered to be the oldest jail in Victoria. It was first noted around 1851. It's been in this location since the early 1900s. There's a caravan park at Lake Bolac, but we chose the free camp on the banks of the lake. The next day it was on to Port Fairy. It was so nice to finally be on the coast and to smell the beautiful sea air. An observation site was first established at Battery Hill in 1861. Cannons were installed in 1867 and 1887 in anticipation of a much feared Russian attack. If we had a bit more time, it would have been a great walk out to the lighthouse. We followed the coast to Warrnambool and found a nice spot for lunch. We later went for a walk in the coastal reserve. Maremas are Italian guardian dogs. They've been used for centuries to protect sheep from wolves. They have been used very successfully to protect the penguins on Middle Island. It was a short drive to our camp for the night at Panmure. We arrived early. There were still people arriving on dark, and there wasn't much room left by then. This camping ground had the bonus of a swimming hole, which was quite refreshing. The following morning we headed for Hopkins Falls. The falls are among the widest in Victoria, an impressive 90 metres. They are at their best in winter or after heavy rain. It's a beautiful day to explore the coast along the Great Ocean Road. On the 15th of January in 1990, the main arch connecting London Bridge to the mainland cracked and fell into the sea. No one was injured, but 2 people were marooned on the new island, and they had to be rescued by a helicopter. It's such a wild and dramatic coastline. There's just so many spots along the coastline to explore, and you never know what you're going to find. After lunch in Port Campbell, we continued on along the Great Ocean Road. The Lockhart story is a tragic tale of shipwreck and survival on the Victorian coast in 1878. The iron clipper Lockhart was en route from England to Melbourne and struck a reef near Muttonbird Island and sank. It claimed the lives of 52 of the 54 people on board. The 2 survivors were swept into a nearby gorge which bears the ship's name, Lockhart. They were found and rescued by some of the locals. The Razorback, which is close to the Lockhart Gorge, is an incredible natural structure. The 12 Apostles would have to be one of the main attractions on the Great Ocean Road. Tonight's free camp is Lake Allingamite. It's near the little town of Cobden, which is just inland from Port Campbell. The next morning we headed for the Beauchamp Falls in the Otway National Park. We got there early enough to get a great camping spot, and we had time to walk to the falls. Another day in the Otway National Park with a visit to Hopeton Falls and the mighty Redwoods. This stand of redwoods was planted in 1936, which makes them 89 years old. They are around 60 metres tall. Wandering through this forest, it just leaves you in awe. We really enjoyed our time in the Otways. Now it's back to the coast again. Another scenic view to take in. This is part of the Great Ocean Walk, which winds its way along the coast from Apollo Bay to the 12 Apostles, around 100 k's. We're going to check out the Aire River camping grounds as a possible overnighter. There's two campgrounds here, east and west. Both of them were absolutely packed. It's a beautiful spot and it is the school holidays. Our next destination was the Cape Otway Lighthouse, a 12-kilometre narrow, windy road to get there. $20 a head for a lighthouse tour. We would have been happy to take a few photographs of the lighthouse and check out the view. After quite a long walk, this was as close as we could get. Cheryl found a Butte farm stay just outside Apollo Bay. Join us next time as we reach Geelong and head across the Bass Strait for Tassie.